As the nights draw in and autumn approaches, the acorns are ripening in the trees. Acorns, high in carbohydrates, fats and protein, 6 vitamins, 8 minerals and 16 amino acids. The first mention of human consumption of acorns is over 2,000 years ago by the Greeks, and it is estimated that over the course of human history that people have eaten more acorns than wheat and rice combined. Under this oak tree I picked up 250 grams in 1 square metre. So this tree has produced about 40 kilograms of acorns. So just from this spot alone I can see about 75 oak trees, which equates to 3 tons of acorns. So why has this valuable food source disappeared into the history books? Acorns are high in tannic acid, which makes them toxic to humans and other animals, for which there is no specific antidote. Luckily, it's water soluble, so it can be removed by repeatedly washing them. So if you fancy utilising this natural food resource, first of all, collect your acorns, then ripen in the sun for about 5 days. Shell them and then cover them in fresh boiling water 5 times a day for 5 days, then dry them and grind them into flour. With all this work involved, it's hardly surprising that they've been replaced by crops like wheat and rice. In the countryside, they're eaten by squirrels, mice, jays and deer. In the New Forest, pannage season is 60 days, when this year 500 common as pigs are allowed to roam the forest to eat the acorns. By doing so, they reduce the risk to cattle and ponies, which if they eat too many, can possibly be poisoned. So pannage in the New Forest in Hampshire is an example of acorn use in modern times. So we thought it would be interesting to explore how acorns could have been prepared and cooked in a time when they would have been an important food source. We can imagine the peasants gathering acorns to help them survive through the winter. The first part of this process is to shell the acorns. There are many ways of processing acorns, and this is just one of them. Cut the end off the acorn and then the other end, split down the middle, and then just peel off the outer shell like so. It's taken me about half an hour to shell this many. Not bad for something that's just fallen from the trees. So now begins the repeated boiling to remove the bitter taste of the tannic acid. As we can see, this process is quite effective at removing the bitter tasting tannic acid. I've read that frontline troops would drink this as a coffee substitute. I can sort of see why, because it looks like coffee and it certainly has quite a bitter taste, but quite frankly there the similarities end for me. Having discarded the old water, top up with new water and repeat the process over and over again. Having boiled your acorns a number of times, taste them, and if the bitterness is gone, then they're ready. If not, keep repeating the process. So now with your washed acorn pieces, you need to dry them in a pan. The next part is to grind them into a rough flour. Now it's time to make the pancakes. We've pulled together put together some ingredients that would have been available in those times. Are acorn flour, a little bit of wheat flour, an egg, some milk and a dash of honey to help sweeten things up a little bit. So here we go. With added leaf. Having fried the acorn mix for about 10 minutes, it did hold together like a pancake for a short while and then sort of fell apart on me. So now is time for the inaugural tasting. That's my homemade fork. It's actually sweeter than I imagined, and I just put a small amount of honey into it, and I think in modern day terms it would make actually quite a pleasant accompaniment instead of potatoes, but it's really quite tasty. So I think we really have shown that in a few hours out in the woods you can make a tasty accompaniment or meal out of acorns.